question before we wrap up the show this Valentine's Day. I hope you're already enjoying it. And of course, it has to do with that crackdown that we've seen in the recent weeks on, first of all, on clubs, on DJs, and even we've seen that it has also affected some artists. And we want to have a conversation here in studio. Joining me right now, seated, the only male in the studio right now, DJ Babs. Thank you very much for your time. Sure. We also have Irene Kamunge, who's the Director of Legal Services at NEMA. Thank you very much, Irene, for coming through. All right, so first things first, DJ Babs, I'd like you to maybe share the experiences you've, maybe not you had, but people who you know, or people in the same career or industry have had so far with this crackdown.
Yeah, it's affecting, and it affects the DJ industry. Yeah, and more so, it's the time we guys, we get a chance to go for, you know, that's when we go for, how, as in?
For the club sessions.
The club session,
yeah.
And that's where we are earning. Yeah.
All right.
So when you go to, just like you, when you go to work, then somebody comes and affect your position at work. It's really disturbing.
Right. Yeah. And do you know, have you been affected by the crackdown, or are there people who you know who have been arrested? Yeah,
there are people I know who have been arrested, but personally, I've not been affected.
Oh, you've not been affected.
Yeah.
All right, Irene, coming to you. There are many questions, and there's a very big conversation online on just why we're having a crackdown on DJs, yet they're not really the owners of the club. They're just the people there who work, you know, in the specific places. Why is NEMA taking that turn?
Yes, I want to begin by just clarifying that the role of controlling noise pollution is a function of the county governments, and this is as per our constitution. So I just want to let the public know that this is not NEMA that is doing the crackdown. This must be the county governments that is doing the crackdown. But having said that, I just want to clarify.
Sorry, so where does NEMA come in the whole?
What we do, we work with the county governments, build technical support for them, assist them in probably doing the noise meter reading. But ideally, the whole function falls under them. But again, also NEMA comes in where, for example, the county governments has probably not really taken action. We've worked with them, asked them to take action, and probably they're having some little challenges here and there. Then we have an overall mandate of ensuring that everyone has a clean and healthy environment. But I just dare say that we usually won't do it alone. We do it with the county. We usually don't do it alone. We do it with the county.
You do it with the county government.
Yes, we do it with the county government.
Right.
But just coming back to what he has asked, the law provides that the person who is really emitting the noise, the one who is really in control of the system, is the one who is guilty, because this is a person who is really emitting noise. And therefore, in those circumstances, you will see the DJs really being told that they're the ones who are emitting the noise, and therefore they're the ones guilty of this of noise.
And not the club owners, because the premises belong to them. These are people who've just been employed to work and, you know, offer the services, the DJ services.
The club owners are equally liable because they are operating a premise which is not as per the standards. Their systems have not, their premises have not been soundproven the way it's supposed to be. And therefore, in those circumstances, then they are also guilty. And therefore, in terms of cracking down, you'll be cracking down the DJs who are playing the music, and also the person who is in charge of the premises.
In charge of the premises.
I think.
You look like you want to say something.
I think the best thing to do, give a notice, and give a notice to the club owner, not the DJs, because DJs, they are only there for a night. Maybe they don't even know anything about the management and the administration of the club. So just give the notice to the management and to deal with the management. We're only there to work. Yeah.
Is it possible to give a notice? Because most of the times we've seen like a crackdown, like, the officers from the county government and NEMA just, coming into like a place and, they arrest people. Is it possible to give like a notice?
Where NEMA has been involved, we've always issued notice. We usually, our steps are very clear. We usually will give you notice, ask you to comply. and even probably even give you a second notice, what we call an improvement order. And then failure to that, then that's when we come in.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that we just walk in and
And
just do the crackdown. And this is after we've had so many complaints. From the members of the public that it's now becoming quite unbearable. Then we come in. So we never move in to just close down or take away. And even then, when we are seizing the instruments from you, it's really done in a very friendly way. We'll even give you a season notice.
My question is...
You're saying it's not friendly.
Yes.
It's not friendly.
Yes, and just mind you, I'm saying this is NEMA stuff. Whenever NEMA staff are doing it's very clear.
My question is, you give the notice, but not to the DJs. Then you come and arrest the DJs.
We have not arrested any DJ. We deal with the owners of the premises.
But there are people like there's a case of Amani, who's a drummer, and he was playing in a club. And, he also got arrested because he was said, you're the one who's, like you said, responsible for, for the music or for the noise.
Yes. You see, if you're operating within a premise, NEMA ideally, and that I've said, will come to you and issue a notice to the owner of the premise or to the owner of the club or to the proprietor of whatever is making noise. But now it is also assumed that the owner or of the proprietor of this business has employed people. And you would expect that the owner also would demand that his people actually always comply.
Right.
So what we're saying, it's really a very technical issue. It would require an issue of trust between the person who's working within a certain premises together with the person who is in charge of the business. So that as a DJ, what you're basically saying, before you even enter into any contract with the owner of these premises, the first question will be asking, have you complied with the noise regulations?
Yes. All right.
But
you want to say something?
Right now there's a lot of communication going around behind the scene with the DJs associates, which I won't talk much about it because it's something going on. But I wanted to ask her something. It's City Council who gives the licenses to run a club.
Yes.
Is it so?
Yes. Just as I've mentioned that noise pollution is a devolved function.
Yes.
So the county governments will give the license.
I think the first thing to do before you give a license, they should know this club, where will it be? And is it really a club? Is it a restaurant? Is it a pub?
All right.
Maybe I can clarify that.
Yeah, on that,
there's nothing wrong in having DJs playing their music. The problem is they need to contain the music within the premises.
What's your level? What's your level of dB?
I think it would depend, on maybe the area where the club is.
Yes.
So
for example, if it's a silent zone meaning it's in a hospital, you have the maximum of 40 decibels during the day and 30 at night. If it is a residential place, which is you have a maximum of actually 55 and a minimum of 30. If it's a commercial place, you have a maximum of 60 and minimum of 30. So I'm just clarifying.
Yes.
Basically saying it depends on the area.
It depends on the area.
Yeah, but usually at night, you need to have your sound levels to as minimum of 35 decibels.
35 decibels.
Yes.
All right. I want us to, we want to wind up the conversation, but also how successful has this crackdown been? I know you've done, you and the county government, NEMA and the county government, you've been on this for some time now. How successful has it been so far?
It has been very successful.
Are you having clubs like actually going to soundproof?
Yes, especially some of the clubs that we closed just the other day in Kilimani. We are working with them. They've been complying, and some of them are just about to open. So the crackdown has been very successful, but how we wish we would not go through the route of crackdown. We just want people to soundproof their premises, and then that's it.
And is this going to be all over the place? Because it's only where you were hearing, like, Ngong Road, Kilimani, just around that area. Is it going to be, in a vast,
country?
What can I say? In many clubs across the county?
Not just across the county, but the entire country. Yeah, because we need to ensure that everyone has a right to a clean and healthy environment. And therefore, us as NEMA, together with the county governments, are really working hard are working so hard to ensure that people comply, so that businesses are done in the right way, and people also enjoy their quiet life.
I agree with her, but I think they need to push the club owners to come up with a soundproof, and
I think pushing is just closing down, and then they're forced to soundproof.
With the new technology of the silent disco, this is now an advantage for
club owners
to do something about the silent discos.
All right. You seem to have all the answers. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been speaking to DJ Babs, and I've also been speaking to Irene Kamunge, who's the